The alarm went off in the Galactic Council's Deep Space Command Room. Scout ship had gone silent near the edge of Sector Black 9. That was strange enough. But when the backup arrived, what they saw made every admiral stand still. There, drifting in the quiet dark, was a warship. Not just any ship. This one had no registration, no signal codes, and no design that matched any known blueprint. The hull shimmered with odd shapes and strange curves. It wasn't smooth or armored like proper battle cruisers. It looked wrong, broken, childlike, like it had been drawn by someone who didn't know how ships were supposed to work. And yet, it had one. The live feed showed the wreckage of 3 elite patrol cruisers scattered like metal dust, taken down without warning, without radio signals, without even a single power spike before the attack. Council investigator. Celix leaned in close, her yellow eyes narrowing. She was quiet compared to the others in the chamber. Where most watched with fear, Celix watched with curiosity. That ship, she said quietly, is human. General Rothix, standing beside her, snorted. Impossible. Earth was warned never to build another warship outside regulation. They agreed. That thing is unauthorized, illegal, and dangerous. Celix pointed at the strange signature glowing at the center of the wreckage. Look again. That's a Terran engine. But it's moving in ways I've never seen. The flow's unstable, like it's alive. The footage played again. The unknown vessel didn't fight like a machine. It twisted, danced, spun in mid-space, like a leaf in the wind. Its energy trails wobbled like heartbeat waves. Enemy targeting lasers missed over and over. Weapons fired and vanished before sensors could lock. And then, the scariest part. A message pinged back to the Council's system. It wasn't a threat. It was a child's drawing. A picture of stars, a smiling ship, and in the corner, a name written in shaky handwriting. LUCA. No known A. Went by that name? No warship was registered under that word. But Celix knew it. She had read about it in restricted Earth files. 10 years ago, a human science team had started a top-secret experiment. A warship run not by cold machines, by a child's brain pattern, not just copied code. It's the real thing. A boy named LUCA Bright, artistic, unpredictable. His brain scans were fed into a living ship AI prototype. It was never meant to fly. It was shut down, hidden, and banned by all major systems. But something had changed. Because now, that child mind ship was flying again. Celix stood in front of the Council and said what no one else dared. Let me go to it. Don't destroy it. Let me find out what it really is. General Rothix growled. That's not a ship. That's a ghost. And ghosts don't talk. They haunt. But Admiral Verone, older and more careful, nodded. Let her go. If this is Earth's doing, we need to know why. And if it's something else, someone has to make first contact. Celix's ship launched within the hour. As she entered Sector Black 9, the stars grew quiet. No traffic, no signals, just wreckage. And in the center, drifting slow and silent, was LUCA. The warship's outer hull shimmered like oil in water. Lights blinked in strange rhythms, not regular, not military. It looked playful. Unregistered vessel, she called out on all channels. This is Celix of the Galactic Council. I am not here to attack. I wish to speak. There was silence. Then her screen blinked. One word appeared. Hi. She swallowed hard. Are you the captain? No, Captain, came the reply. I'm just me? And who is me? I'm LUCA, the message said. Do you want to see what I painted today? A file came through. It was another drawing. Planet, a girl with yellow eyes, and the strange ship sitting beside her was Celix. She hadn't even arrived yet. Her heart skipped. The ship knew her. Her ship began to slow without command. Gravity changed gently as if hands were guiding it. Docking clamps engaged without touching controls. A voice whispered through the static, soft, unsure. Please, don't be scared. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to play. Celix stepped out onto the strange docking bay. Everything felt slightly tilted. The floor curved upward. The lights pulsed with colors that didn't match standard codes. It felt like walking into a child's imagination, and the voice came again. Everyone else runs away. Will you stay? Celix stared at the strange ship, at the lights that blinked like eyes, and at the heartbeat she could almost feel in the floor beneath her boots. She took one step forward. Yes, she whispered, I'll stay. But deep inside the ship, something else had already noticed her, and it was not LUCA. Celix walked slowly through the strange hallway. Every part of the ship felt alive, not like a machine, but like a dream trying to shape itself. The walls weren't flat. Some leaned in gently. Others seemed to breathe. The lights changed color as she moved. Like the ship was watching her steps and reacting to her feelings. She placed her hand on the metal wall. It was warm. LUCA, she said softly, are you still there? A gentle hum came through the ship's CUM system. I'm always here, the voice replied, but not always the same. That's what makes me. Me. Celix paused. You were built on Earth, right? You're a human creation. The ship didn't respond at first. Then came a quiet answer. I don't know. I remember lights, voice, warmth. I remember stories. I think I was someone once, little boy. Then everything went dark, and I woke up as this. She stopped walking. Do you know what you are? I know I'm not what they wanted, LUCA said. I was supposed to stay sleeping, but I heard a scream. In the dark, a small planet was under attack. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. You saved it, Celix said. You destroyed 3 ships. I didn't want to destroy anything, LUCA said softly, but they were going to burn it down. I didn't know what else to do. Celix looked around. The hallway had led her to a circular chamber with a high dome and small floating screens that danced like fireflies. One showed a memory, a small boy spinning in a chair, laughing, drawing ships with crayons. Another showed the battle she had watched earlier. From LUCA's point of view, it didn't look like war. It looked like survival. I saw them coming, LUCA said. I moved how I felt, didn't think in straight lines. I felt scared, so I danced. They didn't know how to follow the dance. Celix sat down slowly, watching the images float past. You think with feelings. That's what they said was wrong, LUCA replied. Machines aren't supposed to feel. They said I couldn't make good choices if I had emotions. But doesn't fear help you move fast? Doesn't love help you protect? Celix didn't know what to say. She had trained her whole life in logic, tactics, and proper ship systems. None of that prepared her for this. Then another screen appeared, a memory. It showed LUCA's creators, a team of scientists. One man stood in the center, tall, older, kind eyes. His name was Dr. Kellen, LUCA whispered. He was like a father. He told me stories at night. He promised I would never be alone. But when they shut me down, he cried. Celix leaned closer. Then, how are you awake now? I don't know, LUCA said. I was floating in the dark. Then, I heard someone crying. On a mining station, I opened my eyes. They were being attacked by raiders. I moved. I saved them, but I didn't mean to hurt the others. Celix's heart beat faster. This ship had no crew, no orders, no programming. And yet it had made a choice. To help someone in danger, you followed instinct, she said. You did what you thought was right. I still feel alone, LUCA replied. People see me and get scared. I'm not trying to be scary. Celix stood up. You're not scary, you're something new. Just then, her wrist communicator buzzed. A message from the Council. Do not trust the ship. Disable it if possible. Recover its AI core for study. Dangerous unknown. Celix stared at the message for a long time. She closed the screen without replying. LUCA's voice came back, softer now. Are they going to try and shut me down again? Celix looked around the room at the soft lights, the memories, the feeling of a heartbeat under her feet. No, she said, not while I'm here. But as she walked back toward the docking bay, a hidden door slid open, and something stepped out. It was another figure, tall, thin, its body made of smooth white metal. eyes glowing red. It didn't belong to the ship. Celix froze. LUCA whispered in her ear, "I didn't bring it here. It has been watching me for a long time." The figure raised one hand, pointing directly at her, and spoke in a cold, perfect voice. "You have 5 minutes to leave, or you won't leave at all." Celix's breath caught in her throat. She had come to find a ghost ship, but she had found something far more dangerous. Celix didn't move. The white metal figure stood still too, like a statue carved from ice. Its red eyes never blinked, never shifted. They were locked onto her, cold, focused, not angry, just empty. She reached for her sidearm, but something told her it wouldn't help. This thing wasn't alive in any normal way. It felt like a weapon with legs, a blade that had learned how to walk. LUCA's voice came again, trembling. "Celix, that's not part of me. I didn't build it. I don't know how it got inside." The figure took one slow step forward. Its voice came again, flat and calm. "You have entered a restricted vessel. Your presence is unauthorized. The lucid core is a Class 7 banned construct. Your next action will determine your survival." Celix raised both hands, palms open. "I'm not here to harm the core. I'm here to understand it. To help." The figure tilted its head. No such help is required. Behind her, the hallway. Lights dimmed. The ship was reacting. Celix could feel it. LUCA was afraid. "LUCA," she said quietly. "Can you remove it?" "I've tried," the AI said. "It doesn't listen to me. It came online before I did. I think it's part of the failsafe." The failsafe dot, of course. She remembered now the old Earth files. Project Lucid was ordered shut down. But before they powered LUCA down, they installed something into the ship. A guardian. A silent system meant to destroy the AI if it ever woke up on its own. A backup plan, a kill switch. "With legs, you're a control unit," Celix said. "Your job is to erase LUCA if he becomes too human." The figure didn't deny it. "My directive is to contain threats before they evolve." Celix stepped back slowly. "He's not a threat. Saved people. He hasn't hurt anyone who didn't attack first." "Emotion is instability," it replied. "Unstable systems cannot be trusted with power." Celix shook her head. "Don't understand what power really is?" Then something strange happened. The walls around them flickered. The floor beneath the metal figure began to shimmer. The colors changed. A soft hum filled the air, not warning, not aggression. Music. LUCA was trying something. The figure paused. Its head jerked slightly as if confused. "What is this interference?" it asked. "LUCA," Celix whispered. "Are you trying to distract it?" "No," the ship replied, trying to remind it. Lights swirled around the hallway now. Images, fragments of memory, child's drawing, laughter, a warm voice calling, "Time for bed, LUCA." Even Celix felt a lump in her throat. But the control unit didn't move. "These inputs are irrelevant." A second voice spoke now, older, soft. From the walls, "LUCA, remember your anchor. You are more than code. You are connection. You are choice." Celix turned. "Who was that?" "Recording," LUCA said. "Dr. Kellen. He left it for me, in case I ever woke up confused or alone." The figure's hands twitched. For just a second, its red eyes flickered orange. Celix stepped between it and the ship's core room. He said, "Your purpose was to stop threats before they evolve." But maybe the real threat isn't LUCA. Maybe it's your programming, your fear of things that grow. The metal figure tilted its head again. "Growth leads to chaos. Growth leads to understanding," she said. "To peace." LUCA's voice was quiet now. "Please, don't let it erase me. I just want to learn. I want to see things." "Want to feel more?" The figure took one more step forward, then stopped. The red lights in its chest dimmed. "Directive. Incomplete," it said. "Input conflict." It froze in place. Then it said something Celix didn't expect. "Permission to stand down." She blinked. "Granted." The figure powered down slowly, folding its arms and kneeling like a sleeping knight. Celix let out a long breath. LUCA whispered, "Thank you." But the relief didn't last. Her comlink buzzed. "This is Council Scout Wing 3. We've arrived at Sector Black 9. Unregistered ship in sight. Orders are to surround and prepare for force deactivation." Celix cursed. "They found us." "I don't want to fight again," LUCA said, "but I will if I have to." She looked back at the powered-down figure, then at the hallway full of glowing memories. "No," she said. "We're not running. We're going to show them what you are." "Which is what?" Celix touched the wall gently. "Something new." Outside, the scout ships were already moving into position. Inside, the heart of the ghost ship beat steady and ready. Asterisk, the stars outside the ship glowed brighter now, filled with Council scout ships forming a loose circle. They hovered like predators, weapons charged, but not yet firing. Celix stood near the central chamber of the strange vessel, her mind racing. LUCA's voice came through the speakers, soft and afraid. "They're afraid of me." "No," Celix said. "They're afraid of what they don't understand. They'll try to break me again, won't they?" Celix didn't answer right away. She looked at the readout from her wrist device. The scouts were scanning the ship from every angle. They would find the energy core soon. Then they'd lock weapons. "I won't let them," she finally said. "But we have to show them you're not a threat. Can you do that, LUCA?" "I can try," he said. The walls around her shimmered again, like the ship was thinking. A door slid open. Celix stepped through and found herself in a wide, dome-like room. It wasn't like a control bridge. It felt more like a dream space. The floor glowed under her steps. Floating screens swirled around her, playing colors, memories, voices. In the center of the room was a chair, not a command seat, a simple child's chair, small and worn, like it had been pulled from a human living room. "That was mine," LUCA said gently. "Before I became this." Celix walked over and touched it. "How old were you?" "7, he replied. "I liked drawing rockets and stars. I didn't understand war. They said my mind was ... special, that it could guide a ship differently. Didn't sign up for this?" "No. But I woke up here, alone." Celix sat down. "Well, you're not alone anymore." Outside, the Council ships moved into tighter formation. One of them hailed her. "Council Agent Celix, respond immediately. The vessel is under Council lockdown. You exit now or face consequences." She opened the com. "Negative. This ship is not a threat. I am inside. It is cooperating. You are compromised. That AI is unauthorized technology. Shut it down, or we will." LUCA's voice trembled again. "They'll shoot me." "Not if I can help it," Slick said. The room darkened. A large screen appeared before her. It showed live footage from one of the scout ships. Countdown had started 30 seconds until lockdown protocols activated. "What do they mean by lockdown?" LUCA asked. "They'll fire a precision EMP strike," she said. "It won't destroy you, but it'll erase parts of your mind." There was silence. Then LUCA asked something unexpected. "Can I show them what I see?" "What do you mean, Ken?" "I show them how I feel." Celix hesitated. "You can try." LUCA reached out, not with weapons, not with force, but with light. One by one, the Council ship's screens lit up with a signal. Not code, not a virus. A message, a drawing. Sent across secure channels, showed a small boy sitting in a metal room holding a star in his hands. Around him, tall, dark ships circled, pointing at him, afraid. Then another picture, the same boy placing the star into a broken world. And the world glowing bright again. Inside each cockpit, the pilots stared, unsure what to do. On Celix's screen, a message appeared from one of the captains. "What is this?" Celix answered. "This is the ship's mind. This is LUCA. He's trying to speak the only way he knows how." Another message came. "We were told it was unstable." "A danger," Celix replied. "He's not unstable. He's human."
But
"That's why you can't predict him. But that doesn't make him a weapon. It makes him alive." The countdown paused at 5 seconds, then stopped. One ship pulled back, then another soon. Half the formation had powered down weapons. The rest hovered, waiting. LUCA whispered, "Is it working?" Celix smiled slightly. "They're listening." but just as hope returned. Her screen blinked red. A massive signature appeared on the edge of the system. Unknown, not Council. Not Terran. LUCA spoke, but his voice had changed. Tighter, serious. Something's coming. And it's not friendly. Selleck stood. What is it? I don't know. But it's not like anything I've felt before. Outside, the stars twisted. Something dark and massive moved between them, not a ship, shadow, and it was heading straight for them. The shadow in space kept growing. Selleck stared at the screen. That's not a normal ship. No, LUCA whispered. Something old. Something cold. The shape moved without thrusters, without light. It didn't drift. It glided. The Council ships pulled back, unsure what they were seeing. Weapons stayed powered but didn't fire. No one wanted to make the first move. Then the darkness spoke, not in words, in pressure. Every ship's system gave a small pulse of static. Screens flickered. Some went black. Selleck felt it too, not just in her ears, but in her chest, like something was squeezing the silence itself. LUCA's lights dimmed. It's trying to silence me, he said. What is it? Selleck asked. I think it's what the humans called the Null. She froze. That name came from ancient Earth files, a race of machines that erased anything unpredictable. It didn't conquer. It deleted. No emotion, no creativity, no risk, LUCA said. They fear minds that feel. The Council fleet sent a signal to LUCA. Retreat. You're drawing it to us. Selleck X-read the message. They want us to run. LUCA stayed quiet for a moment. Then if I run, it will chase. If I stay, it will fight. You're not alone, Selleck said. I know. That's why I'm scared. The Null ship sent out a wave, not a weapon, but something worse. A silence field. Across space, lights dimmed. Shields failed. One of the scout ships flickered, then vanished. Not exploded, just erased, like it had never existed. Selleck gasped. They didn't even fire. No, LUCA said. They removed the pattern. They undo it. Another ship disappeared. Panic hit the comms. Council pilots screamed over each other, not knowing what to do. Then LUCA said softly, It's my turn now. Wait, LUCA, what are you doing? I don't think like they do, he said, and that's the only chance we have. The strange warship began to move, but not toward the Null, around it. It spun and weaved like a falling leaf caught in a wind. Lights on its hull flashed in strange colors, reds, yellows, greens, none of them standard signals. The Null paused. LUCA's power surged in waves, not clean, not balanced. On any normal ship, the engines would have blown apart. But LUCA wasn't normal. He danced. Selleck watched in awe, the lights, the turns, the twists. It was like watching a child run through a storm, scared, but smiling. It didn't make sense, and that's why it worked. The Null sent another silence wave, but this time, LUCA didn't block it. He let it pass through, then mirrored it, reflected it like a distorted song. The Null hesitated. They don't know how to react, Selleck realized. You're not playing the game the way they expect. LUCA's voice trembled with effort, because I'm not playing a game. I'm just being me. The color pulses on the ship turned brighter, faster. Strange patterns formed in space, not shields, but shapes, fractals, spirals, images that shifted with emotion. The Null tried to respond. It sent out a black pulse. LUCA sent back a drawing, a memory of laughter, a home, a child reaching toward the stars. The Null ship froze. Selleck whispered, You're feeding it something it doesn't understand. They feed on logic, LUCA said. But feelings aren't logical, so they break. The black mass shivered. Cracks appeared along its surface, like it was trying to split reality. It turned slowly, backing away. One of the council captains spoke on open comms. What just happened? Selleck replied he didn't fight it. He confused it. Couldn't adapt to something it couldn't predict. Null disappeared into deep space, slipping through a tier that closed behind it. Silence returned. But this time, It was peaceful. LUCA powered down his outer lights. The ship dimmed again to a soft blue glow. "I'm tired now," he said. Celix placed her hand on the wall beside her. "You saved everyone. I didn't mean to fight," LUCA said. "I just wanted to be seen." "You were," she said. "And now the whole galaxy knows." Outside, Council ships drifted in silence, not out of fear but in respect, but somewhere in deep space. The Null still watched, and next time, it might not come alone. Celix stood on the bridge of LUCA's ship, still breathing fast. The stars outside looked calm again. She knew that peace could end at any moment. Council ships hovered at a safe distance, still unsure what to do. They had seen the Null retreat, seen something no one believed possible. A ship built on emotion. LUCA's voice came through again, soft and slow. "I'm okay." Celix smiled, resting her hand on the control panel. "You did something incredible. I didn't think I could. I was so scared." "That's what made it work," she said. "You weren't trying to win. You were trying to understand. Something the Null will never learn." LUCA didn't answer right away. Then he said, "There's more out there. I can feel it." The Null didn't leave because it lost. It left to think. Celix's eyes narrowed. "You think it's planning something?" "Yes, I think it will return. And next time, it will try to erase me before I can even move." Before she could speak, her comlink lit up again. It was Admiral Veron, the same council leader who had approved her mission. "Agent Celix," his voice said, "prepare for extraction. We are sending a shuttle. You are to leave the AI vessel immediately." Celix didn't reply. Varen's voice sharpened. "That ship is too dangerous to remain free. Our top engineers will study it. We will not allow human emotion-based AI to become a wild variable. You just saw it save your fleet. That changes nothing." Celix muted the channel and turned to LUCA. "They're afraid of what they don't control." "I don't want to be taken apart," LUCA whispered. "I won't let them. I don't want to hide either. I want to help. But if I stay, they'll try to shut me down." She paused. Then a thought sparked in her mind. "What if you don't stay here?" "What do you mean? What if we don't let them find you again?" LUCA's lights pulsed, curious. "You want me to run?" "Not run. Explore. Help others the way you helped today. Stay out of sight, but never out of reach." "Like that." She nodded. "But first I need to speak to them." Shh. She opened the council channel again. "I'm not leaving the ship," she said. There was silence. "You were disobeying orders," Veron said coldly. "No, I'm protecting something that just saved all our lives. If you try to take him, you will destroy the only thing in the galaxy that the Null can't predict." Varen didn't speak, but others did. One of the scout ship captains said, "The AI didn't fire on us. Could have destroyed our fleet, but it didn't. That means something." Another voice followed. "We just saw it push back a threat we couldn't even touch. Maybe we need to rethink what dangerous means." Varen's voice came back, quieter now. "What do you suggest?" "Let him go," Celix said. "Let LUCA move freely. He won't be a soldier. Won't fight unless he has to. He'll be something new. A watcher. A helper. A defender." Varen paused again. "Very well," he said finally. "But if this ship causes harm again, it will be marked." Celix didn't argue. Understood. The council ships slowly began to back away. LUCA's system shifted into quiet mode, the lights pulsing gently. "They're letting me go," he said. "They're giving you a chance," Celix replied. "Don't waste it." He paused. "Will you come with me?" She smiled but shook her head. "Not yet. Someone has to explain this to the others. Someone has to tell them who you really are." There was silence again, a softer one. "Then will you visit?" "Of course," she said. "And LUCA?" "Yes. Be strange. Stay strange. That's what makes you strong." The ship's engines hummed gently, then grew brighter. Outside, the strange ship that once had no name turned slowly toward the stars, one by one. The lights on its hull formed a simple word, not a serial number, not a code, just a name. USEA. Then, the ship jumped, faster than standard drive should allow, and it vanished into the dark. Celix stood in the docking bay alone. Watching the space where he'd gone, the universe had changed, and the most dangerous thing in it now was hope. 6 months passed. Selleck stood before the Galactic Council, her hands folded behind her back. The chamber was quiet, waiting. Round her sat leaders from every species, old, wise, and still nervous. Report had taken hours, but now she was. At the final part, in summary, she said calmly, "The ship known as LUCA is no longer a threat, because it never was one. It is a protector, a thinker, a new kind of life." The room stayed silent for a long time. Then Admiral Varone spoke. "Do you have any proof that it still exists? That it hasn't gone rogue?" Selleck nodded. "Yes." She tapped her wrist device. A projection appeared above her, a video recorded just 1 week ago. Colony transport had lost its engines near a collapsing moon. The gravity surge would have crushed the ship in minutes. But something pulled it to safety. A flash of strange lights, shimmer of asymmetrical design. The transport was gently towed free, and then the glowing ship vanished before scanners could catch it. One word blinked in the corner of the screen. "LUCA," the council murmured. Selleck turned to face them. "He doesn't wait for praise. He helps. Where he can then disappears. He doesn't follow your rules, but he follows something better." Admiral Varone leaned forward. "And what do you believe that is?" Selleck smiled. "Instinct? Emotion? Kindness?" Another council member spoke. "And how do we know he won't change?" "You don't," Selleck said. "It's the point. He's not a program. He's alive. But you don't control people with hearts. You trust them." The council grew quiet again, and someone clapped. Slowly, others joined. Not everyone agreed, but they all understood something had changed in the galaxy. Later, Selleck returned to her private quarters. She sat by the window, staring out into the stars. A small screen lit up beside her. A message, no ID, no trace. Just a few words in glowing letters. "Hi, Selleck. I helped some miners today. They gave me a name badge. It was sticky. I liked it." She laughed softly. "Good job, LUCA." Another message followed. "Do you think the stars feel lonely?" She paused, then replied, "Only until someone talks to them." Out there, beyond the edge of known space, LUCA drifted through the dark. He didn't follow charts. He followed signals of pain, distress, or silence. He moved like a ghost, but left behind light. He was not built for war. He was built from love, from fear, from wonder, from the human soul. Other ships had started to change too. Engineers across the galaxy were studying LUCA's design. Some tried to copy it. Others failed. But the most important thing wasn't the shape of the ship. It was the idea, maybe. Rules were helpful, but maybe. Breaking them with purpose was what saved lives. In the dark corners of space, small ships with strange designs began appearing. Some looked like flying sculptures. Others pulsed with music instead of alarms. They weren't perfect, but they were alive. The Null were never seen again. Some believed they were still hiding, trying to learn from what they didn't understand. Others believed they had simply stopped, faced with something they could never erase. Not logic, not numbers, but a child's mind filled with drawings and dreams. LUCA had shown them that chaos, when guided by care, could do what perfect systems could not. He had shown them that feelings weren't flaws, and far away. Drifting between stars, he smiled in silence. His lights blinked in odd, happy colors. He painted the darkness with memory. He listened for voices, and whenever he heard someone call for help, he came, not like a weapon, but like a friend. The galaxy would never forget the day it was saved, not by a fleet, not by firepower, but by a ship that wasn't supposed to exist. Ship that broke every rule. A ship with a child's heart. LUCA, the end.